So after TT, a few of us were talking about Hickman's lap record and just throwing some ideas around about, you know, why was he quicker this year? Why was he quicker on the Stocker? How did it compare to his Superbike in 2018 and things like that? And so I thought it'd be interesting to just fire up the laps from 2018 and 2023, put them side by side, have a quick look at them, and just see where he gained all the time. interesting at Glen Helen, there's 2 seconds difference between the laps, and you could see the first bike he cut there at Bradden Bridge, and he definitely had to roll off there, and he's lost all his drive all the way to Union Mills, probably a second, maybe a little bit more, a little bit less. And then the rider that he's caught coming to Laurel Bank, again he can see him just wanting to get past him, but he's just having to roll off and just wait and then he's had to just then give himself a gap to actually pass him into the actual lower bank corner. So again, if you look at the 2 seconds that he's down at Glen Helen, you could just say those two passes he's had to make is all adds up to. Apart from that, what's the difference between the laps?
So yeah, at Ballaugh you can see the gap's gone way out, 6 seconds, and I think there's a couple of reasons. Those riders that he's caught going to Kurt Michaels have really killed him, because he's passed the first one going in. He's had to compromise his line already, getting off the racing line to go inside them into Douglas Road corner, and then he's just having to wait to get on the power before he can pass the rest of them. And he doesn't get past them all till he's out of Kurt Michael. And you look at Kurt Michael to Ballaugh, is such a fast section that even Kurt Michael to Sulby, there isn't a slow corner in it, so carrying momentum and keeping his speed up is such a key thing. And so he's lost so much time out to Ballaugh that's killed his lap time off there. But interestingly, now we get to Sulby Bridge and he's actually gained a second back. So you could say again, maybe it's the top speed of the bike that's just getting him some speed back, but I just don't think there's that much between the two laps, and it's only really passing the other bikes that seems to have cost him any time. So that's interesting too. You just would have thought he would have just chipped away a little bit every mile and just increased that gap, but it's not looking like it's that way. He's just not lost as much time passing other bikes. So we got to Ramsey hairpin and the gap is still 5 seconds. So he's had to pass Connor going into Parliament Square, but he didn't have to compromise any speed or any line through Schoolhouse. He just lets the bike run out and just nips underneath him into Parliament Square, so it's cost him nothing. And the gap stayed the same. So again, there's nothing between the laps. That time that he's lost between Glen Helen and Balath is what's cost him the lap. And so it's just interesting to see that he hasn't actually lost that much time, like in small amounts over the lap. He's just lost these big chunks in certain places, and they seem to be places where he's been passing people, and that's quite interesting to see. At the bungalow, still 5 seconds down, and I thought maybe it would have been that sector where he would have gained a bit more time, but again, you're dragging the bike up that hill. Arguably his 2018 Superbike's a bit quicker than his 2023 Stocker, so is anything he's gaining through the corners, is he losing on the straights? You know, if you look at the two videos side by side, it's so hard to tell because you're trying to pick these little bits out, but the sectors don't lie. Alright, I'm rounding up the numbers and just getting them to within the roundest second, but there's not a lot in it at all. I'm quite surprised, really. I thought it would have been those small margins just building up over the lap, but just, yeah, not much difference between them. finish, there's about 7 seconds between them, so he's gained a couple of seconds from the bungalow. He's caught another rider there into Governor's Dip. He's arguably had to slow down a little bit just to pass him. It wouldn't have been 2 seconds, but there's not a lot in it. Not a lot in it at all. And if you take out those 6 seconds that he lost to Glen Helen, there's only a second difference between the lap. He's only lost a second between Balaf and the finish on his other lap. And they're both... You see, for me, I think the track conditions this year were great in terms of there's loads and loads of rubber down. And you could say as well that the new surface they put down has made it quicker. But new surface doesn't always make it quicker. It just means that it's not as horrible to ride over. So Sulby Straight, for instance, people say, oh, Sulby Straight will make a difference when it's resurfaced. It's not going to be any faster. It's just, it's not as horrible to ride down. They're not rolling off because it's bumpy. They're just keeping it pinned and just not enjoying the ride. And now there's a section of it which is smooth for about 3 seconds where you just go, oh, that's a bit nicer. But you're not going any faster. So the track, I don't think, makes any difference. They haven't flattened out any corners or anything. You haven't widened them out and taken, opened the radius of them up. So there's nothing there. They're not going through stuff any quicker. And I think in 2018, the race week was great, so we did get the track rubbered in. But the conditions on race day, I think, were better. This year was maybe a little bit too hot. So it's just these tiny little things, but what surprised me most about it is the fact that bar those sections where he lost time trying to pass bikes, there's basically nothing between the laps. Like, nothing between them. Like a second or two, maybe. So we could have been talking about a 136 5 years ago. And that's the most surprising thing about it. When you break it down and look at it, it's the time he's lost passing the bikes, which is the difference. But yeah, interesting to look at it. You're probably going to have different opinions about what you're looking at and things like that, but that's fine. It's just interesting to see them side by side and just see where the time was gained, basically. But the main thing is there's still room to go quicker, and go quicker by quite a lot. And those boys will tell you they're only going as quick as they need to be to win the race. So how fast can they go? Who knows? Who knows how quick they can go? But the key thing is you can always go quicker. There's always time to be taken off. There's no such thing as the perfect lap. And it might be a while before we see another lap record go, because it is very weather dependent, obviously. It's been 5 years for the last one, so is it going to be another 5 years before we see a 137? It could be. Or if we get great weather next year, we could just see it next year. And you just don't know. It's all about the weather. So yeah, interesting one. And hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.